So why is Donald Trump so apparently lucky? And the answer to that in astrological terms is Jupiter, Jupiter, Jupiter. You see it here in the chart at 17 degrees 27 minutes Libra, and it trines his sun, sextiles his moon, and mediates the tension that is created by a full moon alignment at birth, which is not in itself unlucky at all. In fact, it tends to be quite lucky as well, although it does contribute to instability, unpredictability, and even completely crazy behavior, especially if you take into account the nodes connecting to his moon and to his sun. But in either case, the Jupiter is very strong, and added to this mediation factor, it's also very close to an exact station, 3 hours and 11 minutes. This is very unusual. Planets that are stationary are a lot stronger than planets that are moving. It's a little counterintuitive, but if you consider how transits work, you soon discover that stationary planets are a lot more powerful than planets that are moving in fast motion. And then we look and see that Jupiter is the ruler of the fifth sign, which is also very good. That's a very lucky area of the chart, the fifth. And it connects to the moon, another good factor. But then we start seeing the counterpoints. And one of them is two-sided in that it rules the eighth. The eighth is the house of inheritances and debt. And you can see how Trump's wealth is primarily inheritance. He inherited a ton of money from his father. Most people think that he's wasted it all. And then from that point forward, it's all borrowed money, which he is incredibly lucky to have received at all, given how much money he's wasted. But on the other hand, he's lucky to get the money. So all those things go together. The other thing is Jupiter squares the 12th sign in general. It doesn't catch any one planet in particular directly, but if you blend them via midpoint, like Saturn Mercury or Saturn Venus to Mercury, you get about the center of the house. So this adds to the basically the wasteful and negative side of Jupiter, especially if we consider the 12th as being a house that can reflect criminality, enemies. It's a very difficult house. So having Jupiter pointed in that direction is not all that good. So then we begin to ask, is he really lucky? Well, my answer to that is he may be lucky until he's not. The race has to be won by how it ends, not by how it begins. Or perhaps put a different way, if you found, a bag of money on the street, you're very fortunate unless you later discover that it's mob money. Or you can be just zooming along and everything is great, very lucky, until you hit a brick wall. And you've seen some of my videos, I'm sure, where I talk about 2020 being a really problematic year, but it's not the only year. It continues for years to come. And to me, Trump's chart is signaling very strongly that he's in the last quarter of his life, probably, almost certainly. And it's quite common to see people's karma accrue such that they pay for their misdeeds in the last quarter of their life. And I'm strongly suspecting that this man is on quite a downtrend at the moment. And maybe he's lucky. He won the presidency. I've maintained from the beginning that taking the presidency on would become a bit of a deadly trap, because it would expose him to public view in regard to all his criminality. And when you study where the transits are in present day and beyond, the situation is looking pretty grim. So, that said, perhaps he will get away with it, as some people think. He's gotten away with it so far. Certainly the system as it stands helps him. But we'll have to see where it goes, which, by the way, is one of his favorite sayings. He loves to finish the talk by saying, "We'll see what happens."